A Boxing Day madness. Manchester City 6, Leicester City 3, Arsenal 5, Norwich 0. An absolute pasting for the Canaries. It really was. Tottenham 3, Crystal Palace 0. An amazing day for the top four race. West Ham losing as well as it stands. That game is still going on, falling further behind the pack from North London. Man City laying down a marker to Liverpool. Another marker to Chelsea. By the way, Chelsea just sit 3 points in front of Arsenal. Let that sink in. Just 3 mere points in front of Arsenal Football Club. It is a huge Boxing Day now for Chelsea. Gargantuan for Thomas Tuchel. And let's not forget a certain club from Manchester that play tomorrow against Newcastle. It is must win. Must win beyond belief. Because Tottenham and Arsenal are in scintillating form. Arsenal especially, they are absolutely cooking. They are on fire. They look strong. They look resolute. That is 4 wins on the bounce. Their system is getting better. And as mentioned in the previous show, when Arsenal beats, and I want to make sure I get this right, Leeds 4-1, the Odegaards, the Sakas, the Smith Rowes, the Martinellis are starting to have end products. And do you know what I love when I see this happening? It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Because I probably get more abuse of all the opinions I give. The one thing that gets me more abuse than anything else is when I say what I'm about to say now. And I'm going to say this with pure chest and arrogance. Outputs matter the most, especially for attacking players. You can have all the tricks, the flicks, the silks, the skills, the techers, the ability, the moves, the step overs, the dribbling ability, the pass, the touch, passing the eye test. You can do all of those things. But without tangibles at the end of it, you are basically a lingerie shop with no windows. That's it. A peep show with no holes. You are a eunuch. There's no point. No point having a piece with no working ball bags, bruv. And those boys there are now starting to deliver on a very, very consistent level. And that is scary news for everybody because they are starting to deliver and deliver well. Spurs, look, I told everybody when Antonio Conte arrived, game changer, next level manager. Some would say maybe the third best. Definitely in the top 4 managers in the Premier League. Probably in the top 5 managers in world football right now. Doesn't play the football that everybody wants, desire. You know, no one sits on Santa's knee and says, please, I want to play the Antonio Conte way. But he's effective and he is consistent, especially at league level. And Spurs now, what is that? Undefeated in the league since he's been here. They were able to compound that draw against Tottenham with a convincing win against Palace. And they weren't the best team from the beginning of the game. No, they weren't. But they took their goals. Kane, by the way, scoring. Son scoring. Lucas Moura looks inspired under Antonio Conte. And those two teams, those huge, sorry to say this, Lee Gunner, but I'm calling you out, bruv. Those two massive rivals are in a gargantuan race for a Champions League spot next year. Arsenal are in this race. I don't want to hear any negativity from GOONET saying let's not get ahead of ourselves. You've proven in these last 4 games you are good enough to be in the race. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. You could still finish 6th, but there's a difference between finishing 6th and between finishing 6th and not challenging for this top 4 position. I think you're going to challenge for it. I think you're going to stay the course and be there or thereabouts. You are looking wicked good. You really, really are. And Tottenham, I don't know whether they look amazing. I'm not trying to be rude to Spurs fans here, but the efficiency is there. They're just getting it done. And how we know that is when they played Liverpool last week, what everyone said, every prediction, every space I sat in, getting battered, getting battered, getting battered, getting battered, getting battered. What do you reckon? Oh, getting battered. Cool. You? Yeah, getting battered. Bruv, what do you reckon? Getting battered. All right, everybody said, and everyone was wrong. They're all wrong. All wrong. Antonio Conte is not to be trifled with. For a Fran a Christmas joke. They're not to be trifled with. Now, I want your views And I want your opinions, people. Make sure you've smashed that like button. Get those super chats into us as well. Man, like Zane with a super sticker. I have missed this. I don't know where it's gone. I didn't have the comments up in front of me while I was talking. Man, you needed a pen to beat Norwich. Embarrassing. The Artful Dodger throwing. Yeah, of course we did. We definitely did. But we beat them. That's cool. I'm sitting here praising your team. You want to give me shit? All right, bruv. You better not finish behind Man United then, because that'll be uber embarrassing, won't it, son? Yeah. Oh, 4D. Always working 4D. Thank you very much, Zane, for that super sticker, my bro. I want to go to your comments here. Smith Rowe is inevitable. Yeah, another goal for him from that bench. Like, he can't get in the first team right now because he can't touch Martinelli, Saka, or Odegaard, and that they're just in too good a form. But every time he comes on, he seems to pick up that goal. And that will just keep, that's just good. Keeps him knocking for a starting berth. It keeps the competitive nature there. Absolutely brilliant. No doubts about that whatsoever. Chelsea muddied. I'm not sure Chelsea have been muddied yet. They've got to play still, my bro. I think you're a Man City fan, so you can probably afford to be a little bit premature. Your missus ain't going to leave you for coming too soon. So, yeah, you're all good, mate. You got that money. Do you know what I'm saying? You're there. You're all good, my G. I see a lot of people giving Lee Gunn a stick in the comments. Listen, Lee's entitled to his opinions. And he could very well be wrong. But remember, this is the maddest bit. If Lee ends up being wrong and Arteta ends up being good enough, he'll just celebrate it because he'll just say, yeah, I was wrong, but I'm happy because Arsenal are doing well. He won't care. Let me just tell you, he'll just be like, cool, but my team are winning. So I might not be right. Imagine, this is the best case scenario. If you're going to be wrong in an opinion, at least if you're wrong, from his side of things, his team get better. It's definitely more painful for people backing. It's cool. But we can talk about Lee if you want to talk about Lee. That's what's on your mind today. We can certainly do that. We're going to be speaking to some Arsenal fans, some Spurs fans coming on very soon as well. Give City the title already. I'm sorry. I'm not having this either, by the way. I saw Chelsea and Liverpool fans especially on my timeline during the game. They've won it already. I'd be surprised if they don't run away with it. It's over. It's finished. I'm like, you lot have been saying all year your team's as good as Man City and you're willing to write the season off on Boxing Day. It's like, come on. You're just trying to get yourselves a get out of jail free card by saying, it was always inevitable that we were going to fall away. No, your team is now going to be judged on, can it at least keep up with City? Finishing 1 point, 3 points, 5 points, 6 points behind this Man City team with the amount of points they're tracking towards isn't embarrassing. It's still a very good season for any team. But you start suddenly going to 10 points, to 15 points, to 20 points for the quality of Chelsea, for the quality of Liverpool, and I've said this before, Man United's overall season, to finish that far behind Man City is nothing short of embarrassing for all three of those clubs. Man City, Man United, of course, won't be on Ralph. Ralph took over from where he is, right? So he's got to maintain this. By the way, Ralph finishes from where, I don't even know what we are behind Man City right now. We're a long way because we've got games in hand. Now, we're on 27, they're on 44. So if we win our 2 games in hand, we'll be 11 points behind them. If we finish the season 20 points behind them, Ralph's failed as a manager. Like, part of his job has failed. You know, Liverpool end up finishing 15, 20 points behind City if Chelsea do. It's failure. It's failure because your teams are as good or in or thereabouts. There's no excuse here for anyone. Oh, we just couldn't keep up with them. Bullshit. Because none of your fans were saying that in the build-up to the season. We're thereabouts. I think if they're thereabouts, none of this pony and trap. I don't want to hear this tripe. They're miles in front of us. It's okay to finish 20 points behind. No. Stop with the bullshit excuses. Now. You weak-minded fiends. That's all this is. Yeah, and Terry is triggered by it. Because I ain't having it. I'm not having people all summer. We're as good as City. We're as good as City. Oh, mate, we'll be there or thereabouts. And then they get to Boxing Day. Oh, they're going to run away with it, aren't they? I always knew that was going to happen. Bullshit. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Odie. Are you calling him? Is that his name now? Odie. Odegaard crucial to Arsenal's attack more than any other is what Harold has got to say here. Whenever I hear the name Harold, I think of Steptoe and Son. The oldies in the house know what I'm talking about with that one. Is the phrase playing a blinder? The new secret phrase is not playing a blinder, but thank you. Artful Dodger said it's it is the most embarrassing for United because of the money spent. Yeah, of course. And look, I'll be honest with you. We know we didn't play. I'll address this very quickly. We didn't play well. We won the game, though. It is what it is. You move on. You forget about it. You roll on to the next one. It's not something. I'm telling you now, bro. You can banter me about a lot of things about my club that annoy me. A narrow win over Norwich. We won. I can't be bantered on. I'm just not triggered by it. But thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. Really appreciate that. Well said, Terry. At the beginning of the season, all the Liverpool and Chelsea fans got gassed. It's not about being gassed. Their team is as good. The only reason City are going to leave them behind is if they fail. But people don't want to put that out there that they're failing. What they're doing is acting like this is inevitable because no matter how good they are, City were going to pull away. No. City are only this far in front of Chelsea today because Chelsea dropped points at home to Burnley when they should have won. After playing a beleaguered Man United and not winning. That's on them. That isn't because City's wins have been City's wins have been City's wins have been City's wins. But the points that Chelsea have dropped are not because City are good. It's because they failed. That's it. That's it. And I just want people I'm just going to try and keep people honest on that. Same as my club. Man United's season is already a failure, Premier League-wise, because we shouldn't be sixth with this quality of our squad. We failed. Not because Man City are better than us. They are, because they didn't fail. But you get my point. Like, on paper, they're not better than us. They just delivered to the level that these squads, they're probably slightly exceeding expectations. But you get my point. You get my point. And I'm giving it to everyone. Terry, we will fight with City until the end. I believe that we'll win it. I like that, winner Paul. Proper attitude. Proper attitude. It's attitudes like that won the war. I'm just joking. I've always wanted to say a stupid comment like that. Some weird men say things like that, like they would have done it. But I'm only joking. But that's the right attitude to have in sport, my friend. Like it. Dunkirk mentality. Oh. Leicester Jester happens every year, mate. Still winning the lead. Leicester Jester. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Leicester. I want to talk about Leicester today. And that fraud, Brendan Rodgers. Someone said to me, why is he a fraud? I said, because the reason, do you know why Leicester are failing this year? Point blank, why they're failing. Because there was an expectation on them this year. After having 2 years of progression, nearly making the Champions League, winning an FA Cup, beating City in the Community Shield, buying Daka and adding Sumari to their team, losing none of their stars, having being one of the best run clubs in the Prem, there was an expectation for Leicester to at least maintain those levels. At least be there or thereabouts with the top six. It's the first time the expectation to deliver that has been there. And what did Brendan Rodgers, his arsehole, do? His arsehole went. His arsehole went. Weak bottle job. No alpha still in that man. None. He's got no jaw, bruv. Pure weak. The man sits down when he pisses. When he takes a piss, he sits down. That's it. Simple as that. Where I'm from, it's not a good look, gents. And I mean, ooh, give me a tissue after a wee. Right, let's go to the first caller of the day. Jess is with us, of course, a big Arsenal fan. We're talking Arsenal, we're talking Tottenham, we're talking Manchester City as well. We are live after the Chelsea-Aston Villa game as well. So stay with the Football Terrace. Smash that like button for us as well. Very, very important that you do that. We're going to do these calls one by one. We'll get through them before the game kicks off. Let's go. Welcome back to the show, Jess. 5-0 on Boxing Day. Merry Christmas, by the way, as well. Give me your thoughts on your team performance and that result today.
Can you hear me?
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay, good. Why are you rushing me? I just want to make sure. Good game. You know, I enjoyed it a lot. I expected to win, obviously, because Norwich is probably the worst team in the league. Let's keep it 100. So, I thought it was a good game. Like you had already kind of said, the young players are starting to show their end product. Saka with 2 goals, Odegaard with 2 assists, Martinelli a really good performance, not having any goals or assists, and Smith Rowe coming off the bench and doing his thing. So Tierney gets a goal. So what I really liked about it is the clean sheet. I can't lie. Seeing our waveform get better is what I need to see, because at home we're fine, but away from home it just feels like we're a completely different team. And so, yeah, I mean, we barely beat Norwich at home, you know, when we first got all of our team together, and now we beat them off the park, and that's what you want to see. And it's not a marker of like where this team is, you know, because we should be beating Norwich and we should be beating them pretty easily. But it's just points on the board, which we need to keep, you know, obviously, because there's teams that are chasing us now, with them being able to play games, Spurs being one of them. United, when they eventually play a game, they'll be up there too as well. So we do have to, you know, keep ahead. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. We'll see what happens against Wolves in the next match. That'll be interesting because it's at home against a better opposition. And I'm sure, you know, with COVID and injuries and such, we may have a different lineup out there. But I have really nothing to complain about. 5-0 against a team that you should be beating. Relatively like nothing really to be afraid of. I liked it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think for me watching, it looked routine, but with a lot of clinical edge. There was no real kind of hairy moments I felt in the game. And that's 4 wins on the bounce as well. And you're absolutely right. You've got those games in hand. You've still got 3 games in hand over Tottenham. You've still got that 1 game in hand over 2 games in hand, over Manchester United. So winning when we're all playing at the same time is key, because it just keeps that pressure on Spurs and Man United. It keeps them honest in those games, to give you that idea of where you're going to be. As and when those games are played, and we have no idea when they're being played yet. So you want to keep that pressure on. And the crazy thing is, you sit just 3 points behind Chelsea now. This team was spoken about as being one of the best teams in Europe a few games ago. Now they might beat Villa and go back to 6 points, but you're on the edge of, you're a win or 2 away from maybe going into 3rd place. And that isn't to say that you're better than Chelsea. It just shows how well you're playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to go, like, you want to shoot for as high as you possibly can. We all know that it's going to be difficult, but being just 3 points behind a really good Chelsea side is good, and it does show our form. So I do think we're in that top 4 race. You know how I feel about it. I think it's going to be really tough to get that 4th place spot, but as long as we're within a couple of points, and if we finish 6th, then, you know, you have to take it on the chin, but just shoot for 3rd and see what happens. But yeah, good times. You know, this should be really fun. Yeah.
Of course, the match of the day is going to be great tonight. So many goals as well. You know, 5 for you, 6-3 in the Man City Leicester game. And you know what? Leicester had 2 great chances to bring it back to 5-4 as well, and they failed to do it. You know, they really, again, bottle jobs. They're just, there's quintessential bottle jobs. But listen, thank you very much for coming on and having your say. I know you're very, very busy, and we'll speak again soon. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Jess. Thank you. Next on it, we've got Alan to come, Ryan to come, Gooner Express, Sam Tonks. But my brother EGAL is here on the show next. And we normally play this to banter him, but let's give a proper Boxing Day EGAL welcome. The EGAL has landed. Let's go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to make my wife. I need a girl who's mine, oh mine. I need a girl in my life. I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to be my wife. Nobody else, she's all mine. I need a girl. Yeah. Yo, I'm internationally known on the microphone.
Terry, what's up, man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Guess what? We put 5 past the team. I'm quite happy, man. Norwich, by the way, they're terrible. They are absolutely terrible. And you know what? Billy Gilmore, Finding Gilmore. That's what it was today. He started. I didn't even notice him. Man was literally like Nemo. But yo, Terry, I gotta call you out. There's nothing wrong with sitting while you piss. You want to know why? That's the clean way of doing it. I don't know what you're chatting about. You're nasty.
I
You're
understand,
nasty, bro.
I understand where you're coming from with that, but it's not about the cleanliness of it. It's about saying you're sitting down like a lady. That's what it means. It's
Okay, I get
and,
that reference.
yeah, that's what it's in reference. That's the framing of it. But yeah, I hear you. Do you know what I mean? But
All right, let me
do
get back to the game.
Yeah, let's get back to football.
Let me get back to the game. I got some points for you. I got some points because I'm preparing my next video and I just got some bullet points to talk about. Aubameyang not being here, we don't miss him. The attack looks more fluid without him. Everything looks better without him. Aubameyang at this point needs to be sold in January if we can sell him. By the way, we put 5 past the team. Our attack is looking really good. It's looking lethal. Martinelli didn't even get a goal today. Everyone and their mom expected him to get a goal today. He didn't get a goal. We still got 5 past Norwich. Of course, we know Norwich is terrible, but Smith Rowe coming off the bench, getting his 8th goal. Arsenal in the last 2 years, Terry, combined had 8 goals. The midfield. He has 8 goals this season by himself. That's impressive. I know he's playing in an attacking third, but we haven't had no goals from our midfield, and he's been balling. Martin Odegaard, I'm putting the apology letter. Last week, I said we're going to score 3. Because of Martin Odegaard, this game was even easier. We scored 5. This guy is amazing. I think everyone who is a detractor who said we should have got Maddison, even myself, I'm signing that apology letter. I'm sending it to his house. He deserves an apology. He is absolutely a baller. And at this point, I think we have ourselves a gem. I don't think it's too premature to say that. I think we have ourselves a gem. 22 years old, still has a lot of room to grow, and he's showing with his vision and his control of the game, his one-touch passes. The ball that he played to Kieran Tierney is basically opened up the whole game for us and gave us a comfortability to move on in the next half. Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey, that midfield pairing, we're gonna miss them while Partey's gone for AFCON. Also, I just have to say this, man, Terry. Ben White having to play at right back today, without even playing right back one game for us all season, just shows his leadership, shows how good of a defender he is, and how he can play in so many other areas. And Bukayo Saka's finishing today and him scoring a brace is the final point I want to make. If his finishing has improved to this level where he can score between 2 people, nutmeg one of them, and finish across the box to a goalkeeper, and he does that on continuous basis, I'm going to be very impressed. Oh, and sorry, one more thing. And Ramsdale, I said it, England #1. I said it at the beginning of the season, one of the best goalkeepers after only 4 or 5 games. And at this point, with less games played than every other goalkeeper in the Premier League, he's 1 behind Ederson. Ederson has 10 clean sheets. He has 9 clean sheets. And what he's done at this Arsenal team has been revolutionary. He's the best goalkeeper we've had since Jan Lehmann in this Arsenal team.
He's certainly doing very, very well indeed. And you mentioned a kind of lot of players there in your sort of speech. And what I look at is the overall team as well. It took Arsenal 26 games last season to win 11 matches. You've done it in 19 games this year. That's 7 matches. That's a huge improvement in your team. And I think there's still a long way for this Arsenal team to go. There, the productivity in the last sort of 5 to 7 games has really started to shine through. And of course, there are more tests to come. There's tests the next time you're away at a big team, home to or playing a big and capable team. There's always going to be those tests. And I think quite a few Arsenal fans have spoken about that. But you're well ahead of where you were last year. As you mentioned, the volume of clean sheets that you've got, the youngsters are moving on to that next level. And I'm really happy for the likes of Saka because, always rated him. Ben White, I was probably one of the only non-Arsenal fans to praise that side. In fact, I spent a lot of the summer fighting with Arsenal fans.
Didn't I say he might be a bargain?
Well, you were making a lot of very good signings. I still think there were some areas that you could have improved on and done better. But even the players that I thought, okay, they're decent, have done well. Tomiyasu, Ben White, excellent signings. There's no doubt about it. And Ben White only got crap because he's English. And I want to throw this out there now to you as well. You're going to see this soon. Very soon, if Saka and Smith Rowe keep performing like this, you will start to see the English media talk about them a lot. Then what you're going to see is words like, why are the English players being focused on and Odegaard or another non-English player are getting the attention? The reason that's going to happen is because the British public are going to start to really take notice of these young English players coming through. Why? Because they don't really care about the progression of Arsenal. They care about the progression of their national team, so they're going to start to talk about them. So just prepare yourself for the why are we focusing on the English players more than the non-English players. It's hitting Arsenal's fan base very, very soon because of the way that. But that shows they're doing very, very well, mate. And I would just be embracing that and try and steer your fans into keeping it about the progression of the team.
I wanted to correct you. Earlier, you said 4 games. It's 5 games on the bounce if you include the League Cup, of course. And when
I was talking the league. Yeah, I was talking the
and
league.
when it comes to Mikel Arteta and the team and everything else, and asking about top 4, I am not going to say we're going to get top 4 guarantee, because nothing's a guarantee. But one thing I will say is I would rather have the points already on the board than a game in hand, because that game in hand doesn't guarantee you 3 points. And right now, what we have is we have a comfortable lead. I'm happy about the lead. What Mikel Arteta has been able to do to turn it around, he's changing a lot of people's opinions of himself. Not mine yet. What I'm saying is continue to do this. And if you get top 4 at the end of the season, at this point, Mikel Arteta can stay until the end of the season, because what he's done to this point shows that he's going to stay until the end of the season. There's nobody that's going to be calling for his head right now. But at the end of the season, if we still do not get our goals, which is to get into Champions League football, or at least get 5th in my opinion, then I'm going to question him again. But at this point, he has until the end of the season. He has everybody's backing at this point. Even if you're a detractor of him, you've been doing well. And anybody who's saying, Arsenal fans, don't get ahead of yourself, don't get excited, this is just a little bit of good form. No, it is not. We are actually showing progression, and this is no longer a joke. Even if it might not mean we're going to get our end goal at the end of the season, that you cannot disprove the progression that our young players have made, our defense has made, our overall team has improved. This, as I said this numerous times, but this is starting to look like a better team than the year before, and they're so likable, every single one of them.
Well, they're likable to you lot.
Nah, come on, even you have to like some of them.
Well, I like the English players because they play for my country, but like, you've got to remember, one thing I will say, the only thing I don't agree with in what you've said there is your players will never be likable to your rivals. Like, it's very hard. Every now and then you get this weird player at a club that everybody kind of likes. Generally, the better your team gets, EGAL, the more hate you'll get. Just prepare yourself for that. And that is normal, brother. That is normal. This is, guys, I woke up, what the F. Imagine if Chelsea lost today. Pep is just simply amazing. Not much to say. Very true about Pep. But you guys, if Chelsea lose against Villa, you're 3 points behind Chelsea after 19 games. Could you ever have imagined that?
We're coming for you guys. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we are coming for them, because at the end of the day, Chelsea are looking bad. Arsenal's looking good. The football is an interesting sport. Guess what? We could be 2 points behind you guys after today's game if it happens. But if it doesn't, you know what? At least we slapped up Billy Gilmore today. That's one Chelsea guy we beat up.
There we go. EGAL, top man for coming on and having your say. Speak to you soon, brother. All the best. Thank you. We are going to speak to some more Gooners. We're going to get some Spurs fans on the show as well now. Get that like button, smash, people. You're getting beat the hell out of. Facebook's ahead of you by over 500 likes. YouTube getting smashed today, so make sure you're hitting it, people. Alan's on the show now. Big Tottenham fan. What you saying, bro?
I'm happy. Another good performance. I'm a lot calmer watching Spurs nowadays under Conte than I ever was with Nuno. When we were three wins in the bank, like the start of the season, I was just saying, or coming on here and saying about the level of performance, it was bad. Now with Conte, I can watch the Spurs performance and the way he's elevating these players. So I'm a lot happier. If I hear a lot of fans saying that, we don't back managers and Conte won't get back any. But if look on the flip side, if we do, with the performance he's elevated some of these players to already, if he gets backed and everything like that, I will say it right now, if he gets backed and gets the players he wants in and gets everything he wants, like he's probably been promised, we'll get top 4. It's as simple as that. You've got a great chance
at top 4. I want to ask you, I think you've got a great chance at that. I want to ask you this question. A few people in our group chats, a few people on some of the forums I'm on are like, why are Spurs fans getting gassed? You did this under Jose. Do you see a difference in the mood, the style, the play under Conte compared to those early Jose stages, or is it similar to you?
No, it's not similar. It's although we were doing well under Mourinho, it was always we'll sit back, we'll get a goal, we'll sit back, we'll protect what we've got, and then we'll counter attack. With Conte, we are having sustained, possession, we're not. So even against Liverpool, yep. So Liverpool obviously are a much superior team to us, but we had level, continual pressure and continual sustained pressure and possession, even against Liverpool. Whereas Mourinho, we would concede a lot of that, a lot of yardage, and try and hit on a counter attack. And then more often than not, it was just Son and Kane counter attacking by themselves in the early part. Whereas it's the whole team getting up the pitch with Reguilon or Sessegnon and the right wing back as well. We're much higher up the pitch when we're attacking, which means it's the whole team. So it's not as nowhere near as negative as it is as it was under Mourinho, as it is under Conte. And I just think he's got a lot of players that's come in that are performing to a high standard. If he can continue that going and get the players that he wants in, then it's going to be a very good end to the season for Spurs.
I think it could be, mate. And as you've said, that top 4 race is looking tasty. Arsenal are leading the way. West Ham are falling by the wayside now. Yeah. Spurs have got the games in hand and potentially a big January window. Man United have got Ralph. And we haven't really seen that start to cook yet because COVID. Yeah. It's so poised, balanced and poised so well, isn't it? Because of all those side stories for each team.
Yeah, I'll give Arsenal some credit. Obviously, they're doing really well where they are, but whereas Spurs have shown under Conte against a big team will rise to the occasion because we've got that manager. Arsenal are still that when they come up against a big team, they'll get beaten quite bad, like especially when they did against Liverpool 4-0. That for Arsenal to maintain where they are and show that they're going to finish 4th, they have to, for me, when it comes to a big team, have to get results, which they don't intend to do. Which I think we can do under Conte, and I think even you guys can do because you've got the squad under Ralph Rangnick. So for me, it's going to be a very close top 4 race. I now think I had Chelsea to win the title. I think that's not going to happen now. I think it's just between Man City and Liverpool. I think Chelsea are going to be floating in between the top, title race and the top 4 race. I don't think anyone will catch them because they'll get better. But for me, it's a very positive. Especially now with our Christmas period, I don't think we've got anyone big to play until. I think, is it Man City or Liverpool in the league again in January? Oh no, Arsenal. Sorry, that's a crunch game. Apart from that, we've got easier games, which I am more comfortable now, like with Conte in charge, that we're going to win them. So yeah, I'm looking forward, and hopefully after January and finally getting a world-class manager back for Spurs, we can, challenge for trophies and hopefully top 4.
Top man. Listen, Alan, thank you for coming on and having your say. Appreciate it, buddy. All the best,
Cheers,
mate. Merry Christmas. Top man. Thank you. Maria Williams says, Conte, 6 Premier League games, no L's. He has got the team playing well. And we are looking good. # Conte ball. Terry, is there a scenario in which Tuchel gets sacked if Chelsea FC don't make the top 4? If they don't make the top 4 and they don't win the Champions League, I would bet I'll find a way of putting the bet on. I don't know how to do it. Maybe I can bet Victor to make it for us. If they don't make top 4 and they don't win the Champions League, I'll bet £1,000 he gets sacked. £1,000. I'll put it live on the air. I'll do the bet. £1,000. I guarantee you. Spurs only play 6 away games, 10 home games. False hope is what Martin's got to say here. It's a fair claim. I didn't know that. It's a really good one. Got Gooner Express and Sam Togs to come. Ryan's on now to have you say another big Spurs fan. What are you saying, Ryan?
I'm good, Terry. How are you?
I'm very, very good, my friend. Give me your thoughts on another very good win under Antonio Conte.
I told you, Terry, I've been on twice. Now, the last 2 times I've been on, I said we'll make, in my opinion, top 4. I'm not daft. Arsenal are playing really well at the minute. They're in good form with some exciting players in their squad. So it's going to be a good challenge for top 4, especially obviously if Man U pick up form. West Ham are dropping off a bit now, but between us, Man U and Arsenal, it's going to be a very, very good challenge. But we have got 3 games in hand of Arsenal at the minute, and we're 6 points behind. Those 3 games, Brighton, Burnley and Leicester, I'd expect us to win, especially Leicester at the minute. But I would expect us to win those. Obviously, we've got Arsenal on the 16th of January. It's going to be a massive North London derby. But even, again, today, Zaha was daft. Just the whole red card was, the sending off was daft. Obviously, the last time we played Palace, he absolutely destroyed us on that left-hand side. He ran us ragged for the game. So for him to lose his temper as easy as that for his stupid second yellow card, benefited us. Obviously, Harry Kane's back in the goals. He's not playing like Harry Kane, but he's back. He's got another goal today. Lucas Moura's been our player of the season so far. I think he's been exceptional for us this season. He's got another goal and 2 assists for the day. Eric Dyer looks like a different centre-back. Even Davinson Sanchez at the minute, I don't know what it is with Conte at the minute, but he seems to have every player playing with confidence, or they're either fighting for every position going in the team at the minute. I mean, we saw Harry Winks and Dele Alli when they played against Liverpool. They were brilliant that game. They didn't start today, but
and that's the brilliance of a very good system. You can rotate 2-3 players in and out. You can elevate people that are slightly not of the standard that you want as a team. And I said to people that Spurs need to improve their squad, but it wasn't as bad as everybody was saying. And over the course of time, of course, Conte is going to want to improve it. He's going to want better players. In January could be that time. But he's getting a tune out of individuals that Nuno couldn't, that Jose couldn't, and towards the end, even Mauricio Pochettino couldn't. And he's doing very, very well. I know you're confident that top 4 is going to be an amazing race. Ryan, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say.
cheers,
We'll speak soon, brother. Thank you. Take care.
Cheers,
2 more Gooners to come on. Stay with us. Hit like and share buttons. Gooner Express coming up last. Sam Tonks on the show now from Give Me Sport. How you doing, Sam?
God, Merry Christmas. What a day. Couple of weeks ago, I said to you that we're playing well, but we need that away form to pick up. And 8 goals in the last 2 games. 1 conceded was a dodgy penalty. And there we go. I mean, just turned a corner. And the credit to that has to go to Martin Ødegaard settling into this team. And he has controlled every single game. Since Southampton's second half to now, I think this is the best I've seen from Arteta's Arsenal. Like the football we're playing, the confidence from the back, from Ramsdale. Like with Leno, we'd never get this passing from the back. He was a car crash waiting to happen every time he got the ball. Ben White, uber consistent every time he plays. But that middle core, Partey has upped his game massively from that disaster at Old Trafford. With Xhaka, who Arsenal fans, he's like Voldemort. People don't want to say Xhaka's playing well because it's Xhaka, because around the corner is a red card. But look at him now. He's bossing it. He's doing touches with his shoulders. And we'll need him because Partey's off to the AFCON. And Lacazette, man. I mean, the whole Alba situation could have derailed the team because he seems influenced to the young players and he's likable in some senses. But Lacazette's come in. Who misses Alba? Scoring, he's interlinking brilliantly, and he's a real credit to the club actually, because when he was signed, he scored with his first touch. Everyone thought he's the guy now, Wenger's guy. 6 months later, Alba comes in. Right, Lacazette, what happens here now? Because Alba's taking your spot. He's never complained. He's always carried on professionally. He's never really got into any trouble. And now he's back, and he's probably going to see out the rest of the season in that number 9 spot, and he deserves it. He's a great guy. Consistent, always turns up in big games, and he's leading the youngsters, and we're playing really well. It's just a great time to be Arsenal fan. From a couple of weeks ago, it looked like this wasn't going to happen, and now we're just rolling. And all I'd say is, we're being best of the rest of the top 4 would just be a great season. It's just progression from 8th and terrible cup performances. Whereas now, give us a Carabao Cup and 5th place, I'll be well happy.
Do you know what? There's a difference between coming 5th or 6th, and like I said earlier, and between coming 5th or 6th. If you finish 6th, but you're 3 points away from the top 4, and you played well, and it wasn't because you collapsed and lost 6 of your last 8 games. It's different to it's a very different scenario that it feels like right now, and it looks good. Sam, really appreciate that call. Great points being raised there, my bro. Speak to you again soon. Top man, brother. Thank you. Gooner Express on the show with us next. To me, against Liverpool, Arsenal were very nervous. Arsenal scored loads of goals recently. They must not be fearful against big teams. And I think you could be right in terms of that. Gooner Express is here with us now. Of course, Stoic Arteta out. Be interesting to see what he thinks and feels of the last 4 games. And of course, today's big Boxing Day win. Gooner Express, welcome back to the terrace, mate. What's on your mind?
Yeah, hey, sorry that I can't be on camera today, but I'm over the moon with recent form from Arsenal. I said after the Liverpool game, it was a poor result, but we need to move on. We need to beat West Ham, which we did. We need to keep winning, and we've kept winning, and that's the main thing. Arteta is playing really well right now. Whatever he's doing with the system, with the players, it's working, and you can only give a man credit for that. I said before the start of the season, in regards to Arteta and the progression and where we're going to be, that if we by Christmas and early January are in top 4, I said I'd give him till the end of the season. Not particularly that I'm being Arteta-in or switching my opinions, but more the fact that I'll give him that time, that opportunity to run out the rest of the season. And right now we're in top 4. Obviously, yes, Spurs possibly could take us out of it, but I agree with EGAL. Games in hand don't automatically mean 3 points. There's still a possibility that Spurs drop points at any of the 3 opponents they're facing. So we're top 4. It's good for the January transfer window because it means that we're able to attract players in terms of, we're in top 4. This is where we are now. You come in and help us. We can solidify this top 4 finish at the end of the season. But in terms of today's game, I'm over the moon with Saka. Saka, the only criticism I ever had was his finishing ability. And recently, it seems like he's improved it drastically. Like his finishing today, both of those goals, 3 months ago, Saka doesn't score either of them. So the fact that he's been working on it in the training ground, the fact that Arteta and the coaches have obviously been helping him do that, shows me that Saka has the mentality to be a brilliant, brilliant player. And Smith Rowe, again, coming off the bench and scoring. Ødegaard is a player I again have to send my apologies to because he's been absolutely brilliant recently. And again, today he was brilliant. Ben White at right back, the overlapping runs he made, excellent. Having him as an option for right back, even though he might not play there a lot, just having him there and him being available to play that right back role if he's needed. Again, it just shows the versatility that we currently have with some of these players. The competition that we have with Smith Rowe in regards to how does he get in this team is good. You need competition in brilliant teams. You need that competition. Competition breeds success. And it's showing that because every player today was brilliant. The defense was brilliant. Ramsdale, again, barely had anything to do, but he's keeping clean sheets. I agree with pretty much everything EGAL said except one thing with Ramsdale, and that's saying he's the best since Lehmann. We said that with Leno, and we're now not saying that. So I think we need to calm down with the comparisons, but Ramsdale has been excellent. And I'm over the moon, as I said. I wanted us to beat West Ham. I didn't actually think we would. We did. And we're now here, sat in top 4. Hopefully Chelsea lose today so we can start coming for that 3rd place. And yeah, man, as I said, Arteta gets to the end of the season with me, and we just need those reinforcements in January.
I hear you. I think with the Chelsea thing, look, Chelsea is still, most Chelsea fans don't believe they'll fall outside the top 4. And right now, I don't think Chelsea will. But they drop a point today. They drop some points today, and suddenly that's what Arsenal got to aim for. Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United. It's almost like there's a cahoots here. There's aim to try and catch Chelsea, put pressure on them because it's 4 into 2 is easier than 3 into 1. So it's almost you want to create that. Like we as clubs, we need to hope Chelsea keep losing games so that it opens up more of an opportunity to make it into the top 4. So, mate, it's going to be intriguing to see what happens. I really appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Top man. Thank you. Everyone who's tuned in, thank you. We're back live after Aston Villa versus Chelsea. That stream's already set up on the terrace. So go to our homepage now. Set a reminder, bring yourselves back. We've got a mixture on the panel of Chelsea fans, rival fans alike. So make sure you join us for the ultimate football fan match reaction show. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Congratulations to all the winners.